Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, so this is part 2 of a caricature that I'm working on. He's a firefighter, and usually when I do caricatures, it's a big head, little body, but this one is a little bit more in proportion. I don't want it to be, but it is. Plus it's pretty big. This is like a 14 by 17 size paper, so it's kind of hard to get it all the way into the screen. It's like, here's the top, and I gotta keep in mind that I need to leave at least a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch around the outside, because there's usually a matting that goes around it, depending on if she decides to use one. Alright, so basically he's holding the hose, and I'm going to be making some changes before I start working on his face. It seems that every time I put a little something into this and just about ready to add the color, I get, oh well, this is supposed to be like this, and I'm like, well, this would have been nice to have sooner than later. So if you're ever commissioning something and you want it to kind of look realistic, give the person all the information you can from the get-go. Weekends are like the best time for me to work. And sometimes that's the best time for a lot of freelancers to work, you know, using your alter ego, your superhero persona. It's like I'm only Batman on the weekends. Okay, so the shape that I'm going for, let's see if I can show it to you guys. Slide this over. So I need to change the helmet to kind of look like this. It's a bit different from what I've got right now. A bit. So let me go ahead and get started. Slide this back down. I'll try to keep this in the picture here. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this is a cartoon. It doesn't have to be exact. But so, you know, some people like a little bit more realism, and I don't blame them for that. Just a little, but definitely let a person know ahead of time. That way you don't disturb the groove, as I was surely grooving, ready to put my thing down, you know, at least the colorings. Now this right here, what you're seeing is the rough, and then I'm going to transfer it with, let's see, this is going to be 1, 5, 7, 3. So I'm going to see if I can. I'm using stick figures here, stick figure numbers. And I apologize if you hear the fan. I cannot reach it from where I am to turn it off. But I'm going to switch off my mic, and it'll just be a stream of music. As I'm working on this, and then when I feel like I've pretty much am confident enough to go ahead and start on the face, I will. I'm going to do that first. Usually I'd like to work from the top down. We'll put the numbers in first, and then we'll throw in the rocker. I have to look and see what kind of numbers they're using. If they have a feet on it, they do have feet. Okay. And feet are all just like the little platform that a number sits on. So this is a foot. The 7 will have a foot. I'm kind of guessing with the block letters here. I probably could have used rectangles. Let's do like this. Let's see, we'll just do this. And I don't know if his helmet has the same kind of numbering. Now she needs this before Christmas. We'll raise this up a bit. I don't know if the 3 would have the break like this. And then I can kind of do my own thing, make them into raised letters. So even if it doesn't look exact, it will still kind of look cool. Okay, so we got his number here. And I'm using a kneaded eraser, so it'll erase but still kind of leave me a trace to see what lines that I wanted to keep. Okay. Now there's like, these look like they're screwed in with a flathead screwdriver. So we'll just kind of use that. Looking at the helmet that's in front of me, it looks like it has a bit of a lip up there and kind of curves in just a little bit. So I've just got to keep that in mind for like future shadows and highlights. His helmet is going to be white, so I'm going to use like either a gray or a blue for for any shadows that I'm going to be putting on here. Now the paper that I treated is the same kind of paper. It's a Bristol. Let's see, actually. It's a Bristol paper. And on the side of this helmet, I can't tell if it's not the same number. Okay, it looks like they're like saying something around the edges. So I'm going to leave it blank for now. Maybe I'll just go ahead and put like a little something here. Just more indents. Now if I wanted to get cute, I could do like the stitching around the edges, but I'll put that on like later. Okay. Other little changes. Oh yeah, I gotta put the, before I forget, right here should say medic. Let's see, it'll say fire medic. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One way that I kind of get things a little centered is find out what's the middle letter. And stick that on there in the middle. And since this should be curving, oops, I won't mess with the 7 right now. Let me squeeze the M in a little bit. And have just a little bit of space here. Okay. Now down here, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I forgot to put the city or the county. Now he is the son of a fire chief, and I don't know if the fire chief is the son of a of a firefighter. And usually I draw super light, but I'm drawing hard because I was confident that this was going to stay. But again, this is just the rough. Once I bring it over onto the other paper, I won't be able to erase. So it's kind of important to kind of get it straight here than it is anywhere else. Okay, so again, I have to find the center of this set of letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So okay, it'll be O. It's a big ass word. So O will be the center. We'll drop a line down here. Oh crap, I forgot which O. I guess it would be that one, the one between the B and the R. Okay, since it's kind of going around. Now this is going to be reversed. This is going to be black and this is going to be white. So I'm going to try to make them into kind of bubble letters. And these are without feet, so they're sans serif. These are serifs, or feet. And you can tell I mastered lettering. Let me put a little foot line so that everything can rest on that line. And put one above the letters too. And then I'll draw a box around it. This still sucks. The downside to doing it like this is that the markers that I might be using, or the pens I might be using, might be fatter than the spaces in between these letters. So I might have that distortion. Right now I'm working with a 0.5, so I'm hoping I've got a pen or can get my colored pencils sharp enough to not lose the detail in the letters. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go smaller. I am so spoiled from having the let me put the H here, from using digital. Everything's the hard way, hard way. Okay, so we have to go smaller. We fit 12 letters into a 5-letter space. Okay, so what I'll end up doing is trying to get that to fit. I'll just kind of fake it around it. Again, this is not as important as the guy himself. Because who knows where he'll end up. He may be in Hillsborough for a few years, and his family might move. But this is his first duty, so cool. Let's try to do it up as best we can. Lettering is definitely not my strongest suit. One thing I usually like to do is I could trace, I could print out the letters so I could trace them on if it's really super important. But because the guy is kind of a cartoon and stuff, I can get away with my mediocre line work. And it's hand-drawn type of thing. It's meant to be kind of wiggly and whatnot, but it doesn't have to be for those of you who are perfectionists. Or damn good at line work. I'm just trying to get as accurate as I can. And still maintain that cartoon look. So I don't think it has the same kind of brim. I think it's more of a rounder brim for his hats. And you can tell where my hand has been because everything is like kind of smudged in gray. Try to get it to be about the same width. See, I have a bit of a shoulder injury, so it's kind of hard for me to, I'm really stiff right now. it was worse yesterday. Okay. Okay, so right now I'm going to look at his face one more time to see if I pretty much got it. So give me a quick second. I might be able to slide it over. It seems like this way. And he's also got a mustache, so I'm going to have to try to capture that. So this just gives you guys an idea of what I'm working with. And I'm just making sure I got his likeness. Because as much as this is not a portrait, it's just a little cartoon. So I'm not going to hit up all my shadows, just kind of giving myself an outline. And now this picture does not have a mustache, so I'm kind of relying on the accuracy here. I didn't want to friend him on Instagram and then kind of give away the surprise. So right now I can't see any of his faces except for what my friend sends me. So that's the stash, and my stash isn't too bad. Okay, it's not too bushy. Okay. Alright, so I can turn that off. Okay. And that's the most important thing, is just making sure I kind of got his likeness. Now he looks like he's got pierced ears. I don't know if I want to incorporate that, since he's on that job. Let's see. You don't really see it in the picture here. Let's see. I'm zooming out a bit. Okay, so just making sure I got jaw lines and stuff like that kind of right. Just gonna give him a pencil neck, because that's what I do. Usually it's even thinner than that. All right, okay. I'm going to I'm going to bring the other paper in to see if it's transparent enough. Okay. Okay, this is also Bristol, and it's treated with baby oil. This is what the fan was hitting. Yes, it's transparent enough. Okay, so I've got a few new markers. that I wanted to see how they would react, and I treated like 2 pieces of paper. Okay, just want to make sure these guys are lined up. It's still a little damp, and it'll be like that for a while. Okay, I've got, let's see. So if I make a mistake, I have another piece of paper to go back to. I'm trying to reach for my, I can't reach it. Hold on, I'm gonna have to readjust. And the other stuff is on the bed. Okay, give me one quick second. I'm gonna have to do some stretching. And let's see, I'll switch it over to him so you guys can see what I'm going to be working with and some of the inspirations that I had initially for this. Let's see. Let me switch it back over. So what you see right here is what I initially, oops, right here. That's what I am working with. So I'm going to get some markers and some colors that'll kind of be the equivalent. Okay. Now usually I like to test things like this on a different piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back. Oh, you know what? Let me go take care of that fan while I can. Maybe you guys can hear me a little bit better. For the sake of art. All right. Okay, so what I want to try is, let's see, the letters and numbers are all going to be in black and white. This one here, this is a shuttle art. I bought this online. Let me move him out the way. There we go. So I bought this online. They're supposed to be alcohol markers, I think. Never tried them. So today I shall try. Now if I make any kind of mistakes on this, I've got another one as a backup. So I've got chisel tip, it looks like. And ooh, okay, I can deal with the bullet tip. Okay, let's see what we get. His eyebrows. Let's see. We'll play with the letters first. If they're gonna be black on the top, maybe we can get away with a gray on the top. Let's see. I'm assuming this is a cool gray, and this is a warm gray. Let's try the warm gray first. Ooh, what is that? Oh, some sort of plastic that's on here. Okay. Let me bring it down so you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing. Let's see how these guys act on this kind of paper. Okay. Now the markers are going to act like a base. And my colored pencils are going to bring out the gradients and whatnot. Now, one of the things I like about this is it's off-white. So when you're looking at it, that's white, and this is the off-white. And because it's off-white, it makes the white stand out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and color this. Now, the reason why I treated this with baby oil is because it becomes very slick when it comes to colored pencils. I can blend them fairly easy. Okay, let's see. Let's see what black does. So that's the warm gray. Throw some cool gray on there and see if I can make it stand out a little more. The markers are going on it pretty good, and I'm just going to make it kind of dark on the bottom and lighter on the top. And let's see, I think I want to try, where'd the black go? Here we go. And I'll just use the black. For the raised effect. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, because the tip is a little bigger than my space here. And it looks like my warm gray has been absorbed pretty well. Okay. Let's see, I want to use the cool gray again, maybe to make it stand out a little bit more. And what I'm thinking about doing is going over it with white to give it kind of like a streak. Now I'm checking to see if the gray will move the black around. And what I'm going to ultimately do is go over it again with a thinner marker or pen to kind of clean up the lines. My hand is dirty from the graphite. That's one of the things I need to take care of. I need a sheet protector for my hand. Now, let's see, hopefully these guys aren't going to rub off. Yeah, we should be fine. Okay, so like just a sheet protector. We don't need to read this crap. I like the sheet protector because you can still see the image underneath. Okay, so I'm going to go around the outside with like a light blue, because this helmet is white and not red. And I think that cool gray is going to be kind of awesome for this. Now I was thinking about coming around here with white, but we'll see what the blue does for us. I'm thinking that the white will cover. Okay, so these letters here, I believe, let me see if they're black or they're white. They are white, of course. Okay, keep it inconvenient. Alright, so hopefully we can go around the outside without messing anything up. I'm going to let those guys dry and then come around with another marker. So I'm going to try to avoid the letters, or actually, I do it the hard way. I'm gonna get a white pencil real quick, and I usually work from light to dark because it's hard to go back. Over dark colors. Put these guys in there. There we be, and it needs to be sharpened. Okay, so these are my prismas. And I need to get up again. I gotta go grab the pencil sharpener. Shite. Okay. And nobody can see what I'm working on. Too cool. There we go. So that's what I was working on. See if the white goes on pretty well. Ah, shit, this is Crayola. I was hoping this would be the Prismacolor one. The Prismacolor white is amazing. Let's see. well, I guess it's going to be Crayola for now. Okay. I need to sharpen this. I might not mess with that right now. Okay, so what I will mess with is around the outside here. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but the white, the colors will be sitting on top of the paper here. And the white should stand out fairly well. It looks like around the brim and beneath it is all black. So it will be white here. Now when you are at this point, you don't want to use an eraser. An eraser will smear and leave black marks. So I'll just kind of give it a little bit of white here, and around these areas here will be black. Crap, I want to go over there, but I can't. Okay, we'll just work with what we've got. Alright, so this needs to be white, and I can't. Let's see, where is the pencil sharpener? I'm trying to remember where it is. Shoot. Where did I put it? Okay, let me go grab it real quick. I'm just going to switch this over here. Be right back. Let's see if I can grab my pencil sharpener. I should have grabbed it while it was up. But no. We didn't think of it. Raise my camera. I'm like in this little itty bitty space. Okay. What is out of chair? I've been in marker mode. Let me switch this back over. Alright, so I found some blending stumps. And I'm thinking my pencil sharpener, or a pencil sharpener, should be in my drawers here. Well, sassafrasin, shaznazin. It's one of those things that you see all the time, all around the house, and it's like, I don't need that right now. I don't need this. And now that I need it, I can't find it. Well, shite. Let me check one more place. I've been in marker mode lately, so I got a jelly roll for the white in case I monkey it up. Got my Prismacolor. Okay, got that right there, and then I'll probably end up using these guys to outline. Okay, all right, all is not lost. My mind is lost, but not everything else. Okay, so I'm just going to sharpen my pencil. Yeah, the little area that you see right here is all I got to work with. Not a massive desk or anything like that. My lights are like right here. My camera's like right here. And this is all the space I've got in my big belly. Okay, so I'm going to just stick everything here. And I ended up grabbing a couple other thingies. In the dark, they looked white, but not so white. But I think I can use this sky blue. So, shall make some art. I like this pencil sharpener. This pencil sharpener, if you've got it, works good with crayon too. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm bringing my big old drawing board here. I'm going to put everything else on the floor where I can reach it. All right, and my pencil sharpener, keep that definitely close by. Okay, next thing. Until I hear back from her, I'm not sure exactly the color of the helmet. I know that the letters are black. Let's see. So what I wanted to do was outline my letters first. Oh, shiznit. Come on. Where'd that plastic thing go? Okay, for my paw. Now the letters should stand out pretty well. Let's see, and I want like a light, like right here. just to kind of make it a little shinier, a little like I've got light coming here around the edges. Music back in my ears. There we go. So because it's treated with baby oil, you can really see the white stand out against that gray tone. There we go. We'll bring that down a little bit. I'll just bring in a little bit of the tone in a little bit here, because I'm thinking the top of it is going to be white like the helmet that we saw, and then black on the bottom, so we're going to go with that motif. And white is easier to cover up than it is than anything else. Now I wish there was a white marker. That would be the bomb. That is definitely a rare thing. Now the Prismacolor white is much more vibrant than the Crayola white. Okay, so before I wear down my pencil too far, bring it down even further so you guys can see what I'm working with. Now I'm going to test the white on the numbers here. We'll bring these a little closer together. I want this to fall over. Whoop, everything's about to fall. There we go. Now I want to test it here, and I want to see if it'll go over the black in case I have to go over it. Yeah, it looks like it's doing it. And I think what I want to do is use that that blue-gray color, this beast right here. So I'm going to give it like a base of white. This is going to be black underneath here. Now with the blending stump, I'm going to come back through and merge some of these colors together. And I'm going to see if it'll have an effect on the markers. Like if they end up blending with the colors here. Now I really want a darker gray instead of this blue. So let's try it. Okay, I'm going to use this piece right here and a blending stump. Now I don't know if this is pronounced tortillons or tortillons, but blending stump seems to work just right. You haven't lived until you've wandered around a foreign country asking for these guys. This is interesting. This is cool gray. There we go. And it smears well. Good to know. I just wanted to bring a little bit of dark tones here. Now I want to keep the dark tones more on this side. And I apologize, I am not in the chat. But I'll take a peek in a sec. Now that I've realized, I'm like, oh, well, maybe somebody had a question or wanted to say something. And Rude Kim is not even looking. I'm going to come around the outside of this to kind of give it a shadow of its own. I really am too hard on chisel tips. We only want to be our friend. Where'd there it goes. And I'll bring a little bit of that here, just like one little dab, and just kind of blend it with my blending stump. Now when the baby oil paper dries, it will still be gray. A little bit more here. I'm playing with the idea of making other side like an orangish color. Just a complementary color to the blues, and still kind of have that fire tone. I'll just bring a little bit more. make it look like it has a bit of a lip. Let's make this white. I'm going to put a little bit of a tone right here. Okay, I kind of like that song. It was different. Let's see. I don't have any idea what he's saying. It's like, oh, sicko, S-I-C-K-O. So I don't need those testicles. I don't need those testicles. Okay, just downloaded that song. Okay. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get in between Fire Medic and Hillsborough and work some magic. Come back here. My pencil just disappeared. I hate when that happens. Oh, here it goes. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to test it here. Now, my stupid fingers, I keep wanting to increase the size by doing this like I do on my iPad. Like, no, Kim, not the iPad. See, I might get a little quiet. Now, if I make a mistake, I'll just come back with the white after it dries. Oh, let me check the chat. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's see. There we go. Good, nobody's up. It's only me and my own little happy self. But if you guys are there and you want to say something, by all means, I'll definitely read it. Oop, went a little too far. Whoops. That's okay. Like, I gotta remember to breathe. I'm like trying to keep my hands steady. These thin ass letters. So you don't want to go any smaller than the tip of your pencil or marker, which is my biggest frustration with coloring books, especially the ones that I like. They go, the tips, the smallest areas that I need to get are smaller than my tips. Not good. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alright, so I need to let this dry and I can fix that U. Alright. Now I was wondering if these markers were going to act like my fabric markers, where I'd have to kind of stay together here. But I think I can get away with going over them a couple times to get a really solid black. And I think this time I'm going to use the chisel tip, just for giggles. You guys can't see. Let's bring it up a little bit. Now I'm thinking about, at least I was thinking about layering this with some blue tones. Give it kind of like this blue sheen. Okay, let's let that dry. Alright, now usually with the face, I'm going to go ahead and start off with white, I use their image for my color tones and whatnot. And I'm going to lay down the lightest tones first. Because usually when the highlight is gone, you can't get it back. And I like to get it all up in the grain here, so it's kind of smoother texture, especially when I go back to blend. So just use a little bit here. And we'll bring this up a little bit more. Let's see if I can bring it down just a smidge too, without knocking everything over. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So now that I kind of see what these markers are capable of, I'm probably just going to use my Copic and my Prismacolors. Usually I just would use the Prismacolors, but I like how Copic kind of brings a little bit of brightness, a little bit of light, a little bit more life, I think, to the face. So he's got a few more highlights here. Let me sharpen my pencil. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right. I'll start off with the lighter colors first, the Y00s. Let's see, we'll save the pinks for last. I don't know how many of these are dry or what. Okay, so okay. Okay, so I've also got this Prismacolor Premier marker. I've never used it. This is light peach, so let me see what this will do. I'm going to test it on his neck. I like to test things like where they're going to be covered up in shadow and just kind of use maybe ooh, nice tip. Ooh, that's a good peach. Use a good peach. Who's a good peach? You're a good peach. Now I'm going to use this peach where his like darker peachy colors are. Ooh, I like that. Nice and feathery soft. Some of these areas here I'm going to go over with like a brown or tan. Let's see, his ears are pretty pink, so I'm just going to use a little bit of orange. His neck is going to be like the darkest part, so that's what it looks like when it's dark. Let's see, this is a light tone. Let's see if it's dried out. So I'm going to use this more towards this neck of the woods. Just adds a little bit of yellow to him. He's more of a peachy kind of guy, but just kind of hitting it where the highlights would be, close to where the highlights would be. Maybe a little bit in the brown. And I'm checking to see if it'll blend with the neck. It doesn't do too bad. Okay, but he's more of a peachy kind of guy, little pinky kind of guy. Let's see. Let's try this. This is pale cherry pink. I'm going to start in the neck. It feels like he's a little dry. Yeah, you're a little dry, bro. Oh yeah, you're very dry. Okay, let's try a different one. This one here is my pale pink, and I haven't used these in years. Not since the last time I had done a portrait for my friend here. Let me see. Now this one looks like it'll pick up colors that are around it. So like if I come near the black, it's going to pick up the black. This is nice and juicy. Now before I do any blending or anything like that, I'm going to put some good tones on. The Copics are really good for like a base tone. This is great for his ear. He's got really pink ears. That's caricature artist's dream. little bit of pink in some areas here. There we go. See, this is a beige tone. Let's see what it looks like. It's a little too yellow for what I need. And this is flesh pink. I could probably use this. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of this in where the shadows are. This is Pink Barrel. Let's see what it gives us. Well, that's not too bad. Let's see if it reactivates any of the other colors here. Okay. I'm just checking out what I've got here. I kind of like that tone. Let's see, this is E11 Barley Beige. Okay. Same color. Now I really don't need the Copics. I just like how they just seem to add a little something, something. They're going to get covered up by the markers. I know the colored pencils. Those colored pencils are going to get really deep in there. Okay, so there's the end. Okay, I'll just put this back on the floor so it doesn't fall. Okay, let's see. Now looking at his skin, I like using like a little bit of a light brown to a tan. And let's see, the peach, I see like a reddish brown, so I'll use a little bit of this, see if that'll work for me. He's not too dark, but we'll need something underneath his chin. And it's funny, when I used to go to work, I just grabbed a brown. This is same color, sienna brown. I would take all these colors with me while I was riding the bus. For my 2-hour bus rides to work and home, if I wasn't too tired. We'll use a little bit of this. I think this is the same peach. Oh, this is salmon pink. I can use that. I usually like a light peach. Let's see. I don't think this is the peach I'm looking for. Which peach is this? This is regular peach. I usually have a light peach. That's really the bomb. Okay, so this is a good start. And we'll use a little bit of the indigo blue in the helmet. Let's see. Alright, so Copics dry fast. And I usually start with the lighter tones first, see what they look like on here. And this works with his skin tone. Let me sharpen my pencils here. Let's see, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one, but let's see. Get his eyebrows in there. This is French gray. I need like a brown. This brown might be a little too light. And I'm just pretty much throwing a little base on. And I'm going to use a darker tone to give it a little bit more accents. See what the French goulet. Where'd you go? There you are. Damn it. Exercise and stretching. Okay, so I'm going to define with this. This is a French gray, 90%. Let me sharpen it a little bit more. Now you don't have to treat your paper, but if you're coloring with Prismacolors or if you're coloring with Crayolas, especially with Crayolas, treat your paper, definitely. If you've seen any of my Art with Edge videos, I treated my a lot of the pages with baby oil, and that will allow your pencils to just basically sing across the pages. Yeah, that will definitely make your Crayolas almost like Prismacolor. Let's see. Define his nose a bit. I'm going to use a lighter color to do the side of his nose. Let's see. Sharper. When I'm coloring big areas, I like my pencils dull. Or when I'm coloring tiny areas, or when I need to be precise, like around the eyes and things like that, I want these bad boys sharp. Before, I never really cared, but I'm like, you know what? Makes a difference once they're just a little sharper. Okay, so I'm going to use a blending stump just to get a little bit more tones in there. Let's see, he's got a little bit of pink in this area, so I'm going to use a little bit of, let's see, he has just the same pink. No. Now all in this area here, it's really light. So I'm going to blend my tones in there. Anywhere where it's like a little bit lighter, I'll use a little bit of white. Now I don't have my sandpaper. That will help me clean these in between different areas. So I'm kind of hoping I'm not carrying too much color to different areas. Now when I do my caricatures, I do mine in between a portrait to between cartoon and portrait. So the face may have a lot more detail. Because I really want them to look like them. I'm not so much into the distortion of the face, but I don't mind doing it to the body. So I like a lot of costumes, things like that. See, I'm going to use a little bit of this sienna brown in the darker areas here. We'll move this up a little bit. Whoops. And again, I have my plastic so I don't smudge, because this will smudge when you least expect it. It's like smudging. Now if my hand gets tired from doing like the same repetitive action, I'll move on to another area where I'll be doing a different reaction, just to kind of stretch out the fingers. So it sometimes looks like I'm jumping around, and other times it just looks like I'm just being, I don't know. But that's basically what I'm doing, is when I start to feel like a little crampy, I'll go ahead and move into another area. So I'm going to move up a little bit. And especially if you think you're overworking or things aren't looking like you want them to look, definitely move into a different area. Okay, I'm missing a pencil. I want a darker, that gray that I'm missing my gray. Let me try this espresso. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, there it is. Must have fallen out. Okay, got the gray. Another thing you can do, if you don't have a lot of pencils, you don't have a big, big variety, mix your pencils with your corresponding complementary color. So let's see, I'm thinking he needs a little bit of orange up here and a little bit more red-ish down there. So I'm going to grab let's see, we'll grab the in-between. We'll grab both red and like orange, poppy red, and this is crimson red and poppy red, and he fell right on out. So he doesn't have much yellow in his skin. It's mostly pink, a little bit of orange, peachish, but very pink in his ears. Yeah, his hair is brown, so that one could probably use a little bit of orange, or here we go, maybe like the Spanish orange. just to give it like a little bit of warmth in some of the lighted areas. Just a little. Doesn't have a lot there. This rosy beige might go better with his skin because he does look like he has a little blue in his skin because of the shirt that he's wearing in the picture, but it's not necessary. So I'm going to give it like a little bit of this rosy beige about right here in his shadows. Just kind of stepping up my movements here. So like his tones kind of pick up that blue. But it's very subtle, so I should have used it a little bit lighter. I'm just going to use a little bit around these edges here. Just a little. And I could probably use a little bit here. Okay, so this area between his lip and then under his lip, gotta get a darker peach or brown. Let's see. Just kind of keep it subtle, and then okay, and then on his chin. And just kind of soften it with a little bit of the white. Okay, so around his chin, I'm going to use this, let me see what this espresso looks like. It looks a little dark. And because he's wearing blue, it's kind of picking up the blue. So I'm going to use a little bit of this indigo. And then I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit, but I'm also going to bring like a little brown-ish tone into it. And a little bit of peach. kind of mixing them together a little bit. And then I'm going to toss a little bit of this this gray on there. This needs to be sharpened. So from here on out, I think I'm going to define his face a little bit more so we can see the contours. Today looks like a good Prismacolor day. Nothing's like snapping in half or anything like that. His hair is darkest in this area. And I'm just going to use like little strokes. And that orange I was mentioning, I'm just going to bring that just a little bit here. Oops, that's a salmon pink. Because a little bit of it is kind of reflecting. Okay, just need a little. Now, his mustache, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Let's see. Make it a little darker here. And just a little lighter coming towards skin. His eyebrows, just kind of give it a few strokes there. When you're doing caricatures, you can really get a lot of the personality of the person. You can give them a lot more personality by doing different things with their hair, their teeth, their mustaches. Okay, now this guy has a mustache, so I'm just gonna kind of give him like a little generic one, not peach fuzzy, but just a little bit thicker than peach fuzz. Let me look at his other picture here. I apologize, you guys probably didn't get to see a good portion of it here. Let's bring that up a bit. Okay, I gotta take a quick break, use the restroom. I wish I could do a quick replay for you guys, but I cannot. Okay, so give me a second, I'll be right back. And I'll let you see what I've been playing with. Let me just switch this over. Da, 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 da. Okay, and I'm using Google Slides. So this is what I'm going to be working on when I get back. shoot, 7 o'clock already. All right. Okay, so porn stash. Now you don't want to do what I just did, which is basically touch the picture. I was trying to brush something away and it smeared a little bit, so I'm going to switch it back over. There we go. Okay, yeah, I had done this sort of thing and it just put a line in here. I'm like, God, dandruff. These flying bugs from somewhere. Okay, alright, they discovered my light. I see the lights. And he's got deep dark brown hair, so this might be too light for this. That's alright. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of the dark tone, oops, near the bottom. And yeah, this is blue. Blue and brown. Not too bad. Let's see, we'll make it work. So I'm just going to kind of fill it in. Okay, so from here on out, I'm just pretty much going to define the lines and stuff like that. Let me sharpen this. To make it really stand out, I should have like 2 different colors, like maybe the white on like one side or a lighter tone. Let's see. This one might work. Let's see if it'll work for us. Come back. Okay. Stupid mosquitoes. Okay. They're just buzzing all over the place. So instead of using a hard outline, I'm just going to use a soft tone. Right here. And then I'll come back in with a darker tone, just about like right there. It kind of gives the face a little bit of dimension, just a little. So I'm going to use a little bit of blue here to kind of lighten up his face in the shadows. Brown. Let's see. Oh, it's in my paw. Okay, I'm going to lighten it up just a little bit right here. And just give it a little bit of dimension because he's got like a shadow here and his cheekbone. I'm just kind of using the side of the pencil to bring that shadow downwards a little bit. And then I'm going to use a little bit of light. And I'll just keep alternating until I get to the colors that I want. I'm going to use a little bit of the red in his cheeks. Let me see. I'm just kind of burnish this a little bit. So all in this area right here, it looks a little light in his photograph. So we'll just kind of keep it a little bit light, a little bit pink. Kind of lighten up his face a little bit. And this is the cream color. Okay, so for this side of his face, I want to kind of soften it a little bit more, because his nose is not quite that sharp. Now keep in mind, this is supposed to be a cartoon. How much detail you put into it is up to you when you do your caricatures. Okay. Yeah, and if your colors aren't doing what you want them to do, try using another color under it as well. A darker tone, redder tone, a cooler tone from what you're using to see if you can get the outcome that you're looking for. Oops, I forgot my plastic on the top. I know that there's going to be a lot of color all over this thing, so I'm almost not worried about, you know, the smearing, but it is a concern, especially if your area is light. It's going to make it harder to cover up. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Use protection. So I'm going to add a little bit more of like a bluer tone around the edges here, kind of a blue-gray. Let's see, either this one or this is espresso. Maybe that gray that's like 90%. Let me try this French gray. Just trying to dull it up just a little. But not too dull. Just give it like a bluish tone. And then I'm gonna kind of blend them together. I'll use a little bit of brown. Now I'm almost at my point where I have to stop, get ready for work. But I will be on this again until I am done. coming over it again. And I'm just pretty much coloring what I see. Looks like this right here is very light. And just to add a little bit more life, we'll just throw a little bit of red into it. Put a little bit of red here. And we'll blend that downwards. Let's see, we'll also like pink up his ears a bit too. Come on, you, slide. Like his ears are pink, but we're just gonna push it over the edge a little bit. Now, one of the things that when I was working at Busch Gardens, they're like, throw that red on there. And the couple places that they said to throw the color onto it was the nose, maybe like the temples, the lips, and the cheeks, because that's where the blood is thinnest. But I kind of like a more subtle, especially when you were at Busch Gardens getting your caricature done. You know, you're getting sunburned. So pretty much all the sunburned places. And our favorite was when your hair was a mess, because it gave you this look of life, even though you're like, oh my god, my hair is like all over the place. But that's the best caricatures, when you got wisps of hair in different places. Those are awesome. I'm going to kind of blend in the brown a little bit with the red. And you see how it's like really fuzzy right now. And I'll just keep adding colors until I will have it where I want it, like right here on the edge. Prismacolors are cool because they will sit on top of each other. Use the white. Especially if they're dark tones. And I'm just pretty much coloring what I see. Alright, I'm just going to soften up some of these tones. Alright, so I just need to work on the nose a bit more. Let's see, I'm going to use the tones that I have. No hard outlines on the inside. Now, to make it look more like a cartoon, you can add those in there. Now with him, he does not have big gums, so I'm going to bring his lips down a little bit more. His mustache, his porn stash, we'll bring that down a little more too. I apologize if all you can see is at an angle. Let me see if I can bring this closer. There we go. Now I'm just going to use like a hint of the dark tone. I'll switch it to like a gray. Let's see. This is espresso. I can't remember what color espresso was. Use this gray. And I need to find my light peach. I think that would go well with his nose here. His nose is peach across here, and it comes up light up here. So since I don't have the brown that I want, I'm just kind of improvising, making this brown into what I need. Use. Now with the paper being treated with baby oil, you want to kind of keep working on it before it dries completely, and then you don't have any movement at all of tone. If you need to, if it dries out on you too fast, do not apply it to the front. It will smear everything. You want to apply it to the back of your picture if you need to re-wet your paper. Like say you had to stop for a day or two. Yeah, so just kind of do it that way. I found that out when I was doing the Uhura picture, and I had like a whole bunch of lights in the back where her console was, and her outfit, and her skin, and everything else. It all just really smeared together. Okay. So I might add some cartoony things. A little bit of gray in the eyes, maybe a little bit of blue where the whites of the eyes are. And that's pretty much where I have to leave off today. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video, and hopefully I'll have more information on what things look like, you know, for his uniform. When you get to this point and you're not sure about, you know, does it stand out enough, go ahead and throw in some black outlines. Use the thick to thin. Me, I'm just going to kind of leave it like this until, like, if I need to, I can do a black outline here to separate him from the background. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. put these guys side by side so you can see what I'm working with. Let's see if we can raise this up a bit. Kind of hard to put them side by side when okay. It's got to get to a point where I can stop.